Hi, how you guys doing? I'm Kateria and welcome to the Power of God Ministries JC. This one right here is talking about the Gate of Prosper, located in Texas, located in a place called Prosper, Texas. It says that it is north of Dallas, Texas. All right, so here we go. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe, and if you want to get saved or rededicate your life to God, check out the salvation clip because I'll walk you through it. All right, and but months ago when God was telling me about New York and the attacks that was coming in New York, right? He was talking about the gates of New York. So now I'm hearing the gates of New York in all of them, right? And then at the ending, God began to talk about the gates of prosper, the gates of prosper. And it was repeated like 3 times to make sure that I know that, God is speaking, right? So it was repeated to me like 3 times, the gate of prosper, the gate of prosper, the gate of prosper. And I started looking because he didn't tell me none of the names of the gates for New York, but he just said the gates of New York. And then he mentioned the name of a gate, which is called the Gate of Prosper, and the only place I can find it is in Texas. All right, so I did look up a little bit about the Gate of Prosper. I checked it out again, and now it's showing, well, at least I see more details now today. But I want to say this, okay, so when God was showing me this about New York, you got to remember that what God was showing was that the strategy that they're going to have for like the overall war or just a good portion of the war. And they was focusing, when God went over these gates, they was focusing on produce production and the produce manufacturing. All right, produce, usually dealing with foods, goods, and services. Not services, but goods. All right, produce is usually like, I believe, food. All right, so, but maybe not limited to food. All right, so I didn't check that out. I just assumed that it was food because it's produce or whatever the case may be, but maybe it's not limited to produce. I mean, maybe produce is not limited to food. All right. However, that was their focus point. Um, the produce production and the produce manufacturing. All right. And then the gate of prosper comes in on that. I don't know the relationship with the gate of prosper in Texas as well as the gates of New York, meaning when they built this place that I see, the gate of prosper is a shopping center. It said the Gate of Prospering Shopping Center is a multi-phase retail development in Prosper, Texas. But you're going to also find that there are luxury apartments and some suburbs that is also considered the Gate of Prosper. All right. They also have the residential side. Usually when you building a shopping center or a retail that's like that, nowadays they like to attach the residential side and bring in some more millions. All right. So it says luxury apartments. All right. Let me keep going. The Gate of Prosper is owned by the Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. Again, located in Prosper, Texas, north of Dallas. All right, they calling this multi-phase retail development the true gateway for the town of Prosper. I forgot to look up Prosper to see what else is in this area of the Gate of Prosper. All right, because we know, first I do know that God is showing that they are going into communities. So if it seems like that's dumb or whatever, or like, what do they want with this area? It's a retail development area. Well, they want to go into communities, okay, to create more prisoners of war. And so I guess this place is picked, but it looked like it's deeper. because the name is Prosper, it looked like it's deeper. Like, why this area? All right. I don't know if it's the owners or whatever the case may be. If this Gate of Prosper has some type of correlation or some type of something in common with the Gates of New York, meaning, hey, when I created the Gate of Prosper, I was inspired by maybe something in New York, or maybe there are transactions being made with trade, all right, coming out of New York to fund the Gate of Prosper's retail. Like, I don't know. So, but this thing is going to be huge. The Gate of Prosper Shopping Center will span more than 250 acres and feature over 2 million square feet of retail and restaurant space. That is retail and restaurant space, not including the luxury apartments and things of that nature. It says that one of those luxury apartments is the most desirable suburb apartment or area. All right, so this is what makes me convinced about the Gate of Prosper coming out of Texas. All right, so that is it, you guys. I wanted to have this as a standalone video. I still, I'm not really trying to understand it at 100%. They got to pick something. I don't know why they picked this particular place for invasions. But this is what the Lord definitely spoke. And now I am finally doing a standalone video with this today. You guys pray. I think it's something more about this Gate of Prosper area. All right. You guys pray, and have a good day. And remember, check out the salvation clip if you want to get saved or rededicate your life back to God. Time is of the essence and time is now. Have a good day.